Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today is the day which we wait for all month long as we color away and as we watch other people color away. We await that day at the end of the month when they're going to show us, or when we're going to show you, all the finished pages. And that's what we're going to do today, so let's get right into it. This that you're looking at right now is my Pinocchio poster, and my assignment for this month was to color the princess. I already had her wand done, but I colored the princess. It was an easy assignment for this busy month, and I sat down one day and I colored her. So she uses alcohol markers, gel pens, and a metallic marker. So this means that the whole top half, I'm going to try and show you this. We have to do a little bit of, so this is, yeah, let's try and curve the edges there like a panoramic movie theater. So yeah, there we go. That's the whole top half. You're just missing, let's see, can I get the bottom part on? Almost all. But as you can see, Geppetto here hasn't been colored. And also, I'm not sure if you can see this, but right here is a piece of a wooden banister, which goes on to the next page. And right here is a stone. So my assignment for January is going to be to color Geppetto on this half and on the other half, which you can't see. And I'm not going to do that wood piece or this stone piece because there's a lot of it when I flip the page over, so that'll be my next assignment. So January's assignment, let's put this back the way it goes. So January's assignment is to do Geppetto and the rest of them. Where is he? Where's the rest of them? There we go. There's the leg and the foot. So he's hidden behind this wooden piece here. So I'm going to do Geppetto, his second half here, and his top half. That is January's assignment. So once I have that done, and this little piece of wood and stone, the whole top half of this poster is going to be finished. And I'll lay it out on the floor, open it up, and then you have a look at what's done, because there's quite a bit done on the second half with all the parts that overlap. So I didn't make room to put it. You'll have to excuse my chair because it squeaks. I think it needs oiling. Okay, just going to take a sip of water, and not water. Why do I always say that? This is Diet Dr. Pepper. Oh, sorry for the gulping, but I really needed that. So first things first, I'm going to do my empties because I always forget to do them if I don't do them first. So let's do the alcohol markers first. So I am using the Ohuhus and a couple of other brands for my main alcohol markers, and I ran out of these 4 and I had replacements. I have a big amount of replacements right now, so I think most of those were replaced. And then I am using up my, what I call my crappy markers. They're the ones that leave the yellow staining. I'm using them up on Color by Numbers, which have the black backings, because then not too much of it shows. And I am out of 2 of those. So the objective is to use these crappy markers up and get them out of the way. Then I used one Adaxi, and this is a good marker. It doesn't stain. and I used up one Spectrum Noir. And I'm also working on using my Spectrum Noirs because they've just sat there. They're right beside me, right there, so that I use them. Okay, so those need to be thrown out. Garbage is right here. Might as well do it. Okay, so what else did I use up? Let's see. Okay, I have one of these, and these are the Artist's Loft watercolor markers. I don't like them at all, so I have put the rest of the markers that I had into our box of stuff that goes to the thrift store. This one I did use up. Okay, one Crayola Super Tip, and I just want you guys to see, this is an old one that I have. I'm going to zoom in on it, and you see how it says Super Tips by Crayola. Cool, eh? And the lid is different. It, I don't know, it just has this pattern on it. But the tip is exactly the same. And this posts as well, very nicely. The current ones post, but not as nice as that. So I used up one Crayola Super Tip. Used up two Crayola Pipsqueaks. They're just the same as the Super Tips, except for a smaller tip. Used up two are these ultra fines? No, two fine point Bic intensities. Sorry, make that 3. And one Shuttle Art Fine Tip permanent markers. Then we've got one Crayola black edition. These are the fine point ones, or like the extra fine points. Okay, then for gel pens. These are either Tan Mitts or Ain Arts. Actually, they're all Ain Art except for one. So this one is a Tan Mitt, and these are all Ain Art. I'm in the process of using the Ain Art ones up because they're actually great when you use them by themselves. You think, ooh, that's nice and glittery. But then you put down a Tan Mitt next to it, and you're like, oh, wow, those ones aren't that glittery. Because the Tan Mitts are very nice. Whoops, one more. Two Tan Mitts. Now this next one I didn't use up, but it just stopped working. And that was my... Oh, you know what? I think it is out of ink. No, it has ink up to the top of the barrel here, but it just gave up working. And this is a Uniball Signo Broad, or sometimes it says Broad on the top, or sometimes it says UM153. That's a broad as well. You have this big, I don't know if it's just a 1 millimeter or like 10 as some people call it, or if it's more than that, because it is quite big. So that guy gave up the ghost. I don't know why. And I absolutely hate this pink Faber-Castell eraser, so I am giving up on it too. I have ones that have the white eraser in it, which I like much better. So that one guy goes. And then I have a Maped felt tip. I like these. I rebuy these. I have a Crayola Take Note permanent marker. So lots of permanent markers used up. And this is a Pen and Gear black permanent marker. So I went through 2 black permanent markers. So let's put the tin out of the way. Don't fall off there. Alright, so let's get to my colors. Okay, so I included stuff like this because it does take a lot of coloring. I have 2 swatch charts here that I did. This is the Arteza Expert 120. I already had these swatched, but I had them swatched on 2 pages, and using my my swatch book, I have found out that I absolutely hate it when a swatch takes up more than one page. So I've redone these onto this paper on one sheet. And these I never did have swatched on this paper. So these are the Tombow Erogitons. That's the complete 90 set there. They are in color order, but the colors vary so wildly that it doesn't look as neat and tidy as the others. So I'll just put those somewhere safe so I can file them away. Alright, so I have the most coloring here, the most books here that I have ever had in my color tubing life. So we've got a lot ahead of us, and a good majority of it is Christmas books, because do you remember when I showed you all my Christmas books and my winter books? Well, my goal was to do at least one picture in every one of the Christmas books, saving the winter books for now. And I did it except for 3 books. So only 3 books out of all of those Christmas books did I not work in this month, so last month. So All About Christmas by Belba Family. I did this one. And this one. I love this one. It's so cute. Oh, I need a drink of water again. I mean, oh. And I did 2 pages in Mandalas for Relaxation and Meditation. This is a book that I hope to finish next year. What have we got? Which one comes first? That one should. There we go. So this one was random markers with a gel pen, or a couple of gel pens in it, but I had forgotten to use a blotter sheet when I did this one, so it's pretty messy where this light pink is. And then I did the next page with random Ain Art gel pens, and I think that's what I may be doing in here to help me use those up. Next, I got this book to review last month, and I kind of went to town on it. So I did this one. This one. And this one was really hard to see what it was, because looking at it straight on, like once you know what it is, you can see it. But when you're working on it and when you're finished, you're just looking at it and like going, what is this? Because it doesn't look like anything. Then you see it on camera and you get it. It is an excellent one. Okay, then we did this one. I mean, I did, not we. And then I did this one. These are all done in water-based markers. And this one. That one's a bit browny. Should have had maybe a different color of background to make the coffee and the espresso, or the cream. No, that's an espresso thing. So yeah, I love these stone mosaic books. I need to go back to the first one and work in it. So we do them in order. And then I got this one for review also. And this is a Such and Such Davis Festive Christmas. Let's find my first page. Okay, so I did these backwards, starting with the last. Well, no, let's just do it this way. Here we go. Okay, so I'm working back to front in this book, but it's going to be put away for the Christmas season now. So these are done in alcohol marker, I believe. This one. And on this snowman here, I used one of the outline markers that I got So he's outlined in a blue and a silver line. This one. This one. Now this one here, I forgot to use a blotter sheet for this while I was doing this part right here. So it covered up pretty well, except for a bit of it showing through on her hat there. And I did this one, and again I outlined my snowman with the blue. Now when you're using those outline pens, you can't go over alcohol marker, or else the ink part, you know, the part that shows the color, will disappear into the alcohol marker. But since this part is plain page, the blue shows up here and the orange shows up here on this side, and on his arm you can't see the color. Just an FYI, if you're using those outline markers, they only show up the ink on each side if it's on blank paper, which does limit their use a little bit, unfortunately. Okay, so I am working in Chibi Girls Grayscale. This is one of my books I'm going to finish in the new year. At this point, I have done page 18 and 17. So I did the vampire courting this girl here. That was number 18. And this was number 17. This one is an alcohol marker. Used some Arteza white gel pen there. Used some Sakura Decorez and Stickles on the cloud, and used the red Sakura Decorez on the fire. And this one I got out 5 colors, and I made that my limited palette. The only thing I added in was I used black for her hair. And so my next page is this one. If anybody wants to buddy color in this book with me, I would appreciate it. I do only have 16 pages left in it though, so I'm going to kind of have to pick the pictures because, you know, if you don't have many done, I will have most of what you have don't have done. So yeah, if you want to do a buddy color in this and you don't mind me picking the page, just let me know. Did a couple in color by number patterns. Now, I have to tell you that I do have a whip in here. Okay, so I don't like the color palettes in this book. I think they're pretty ugly. So I started doing this one, and I got this far, and I thought, oh, purple and green, yuck. And then I remembered how I don't like the color palettes, and as I was doing this, I thought to myself, this wouldn't look any worse if I just picked colors randomly. And I went, and you guys know how I like to do random colors, so this is what I did. And I don't think this is any worse than their color choices. So what I did was I started at the beginning and I went, okay, 16, and then I like randomly picked out a color. Is this alcohol marker? No, this was water-based marker. So I randomly picked out a color and I did all the 16s that color. Then I went here, okay, next part is a 10. So randomly picked out a color and did all the 10s that color. And I had so much fun. I did it again. And I mean, I think this looks great, except for the little bit of yellow that got put in the corners. So yeah, lots of fun doing this my new way. Okay, then comes Sherry Baldi. Night Before Christmas. Oops, where's my first one? Alright, well I just started in the beginning of this book, and liked the next page all the time, so that's how it went. This one is just complete alcohol marker, and I added this rectangle in the back myself. This is alcohol marker and gel pen. I did have a bit of bleed through from the other page where I left my pen. Let my pen sit while I was kind of dozing. But I was lucky I didn't get any scribbling. And then finally this one is just alcohol marker. Oh boy, I really like this one. I actually really like Sherry Baldi. Might do a color along with her 1 month this year. Okay, so I have my PDFs just randomly put throughout this pile. So got another swatch chart. This is my Prismacolors. Again, I had this on 2 pages and it was bothering at me. So I went and got a 150 chart and filled it in. I get my charts from a place called Mystic Sparkle Wings on DeviantArt. She has a ton of charts for everything that you could imagine. So if I remember, I'll put her link down below. And if you're interested and I didn't put the link down below, just let me know, hey, you didn't put the link down below, and I will fix it. Okay, then I did the Joanna Basford Advent Calendar over 4 weeks, I guess. We did this. I did this as part of my color along. I used gel pen. Oh, it's going to be one of those days. I used gel pen for it. I do have a few marks where I made accidents. My pen just kind of hit the page and slipped. Up here too, and I did fall asleep coloring this one, and I had a bunch of scribbles which I covered up with white Posca, and it's done a relatively decent job, but you can see it. So anyways, I had a lot of fun doing that, and I will be doing it again next year. Then this is actually a page from Christmas Darlings, but there's a Facebook group that I belong to, and all the artists are giving a freebie, and then you color it and enter it into the contest, and the artist will pick a winner based on whatever. It could be random, they could pick the one they like the most, or whatever. So this is actually the only one I entered into since I had so much other Christmas coloring to do. But this looks better in person than it does on camera, because for the halos, they had halos drawn, and maybe if I do zoom in on it, we'll check and see if a zoom works on this. But I colored in the halos with a fluorescent yellow highlighter. And then I went over it with that fluorescent-y type of, that really bright yellow that Stickles has. I went over them with that. So in person you can see that, but on camera you just kind of see a greenish blur. So anyways, had fun doing that. And then this month I bought Deborah Mueller's Naughty or Nice, and a PDF version, and this is one of the pages that I colored. I can't remember if I colored another or not. I think I did. So this is one of them. It's done in alcohol marker, except for the fluff. That's done in acrylic paint. Hey, I found this book to be a delight to work in this month, so I am going to get her other ones, or their other ones, I should say. So I did Heavenly Snowflake, and then when I did this one, I realized that the alcohol marker bled through. I knew that was going to happen. Usually it doesn't bother me, but alcohol marker covered up the symbols. So and it also covered up the chart, which I do use a lot. I do refer to this a lot while I'm doing these, because it means that I don't have to try and find the symbol as hard if I look on here for reference. So I can't do this picture because I can't read the symbols. So I decided that I would go to the back and work backwards. So I did. So I did this one. Now, when I work on this side, it bleeds through onto the page I've already done. I'll show you that in a minute because this page is blank. So I did this one, and then I did this one. So when I did this one, it bled through onto the chart that I'd already used. And see, this one is ready. I can read this because I haven't gone through on it yet. So yeah, there. This looks much better on screen than it does in person, that one. I think the blue was a poor choice for the background. I'm having a really bad dry mouth day. Just let me put some lip salon. Sorry for the stretch. I know a few of you, and at least one of you is clapping that you see this book, because I was asked, how's happiness going? And I'm like, it's not. So decided to get it out. Or actually, it's always been out. I've just never got around to it. So we did. I found that there was a Christmas page in it. Lucky me. So I did this page. These are just as nice as George Tufexis's books. They're not as complicated. Every now and then you do come across one which is equal to George Tufexis, and every now and then you come to one that's quite simple. So good variety, and good for those who like George Tufexis. Okay, so this book I didn't put in my 10 books to finish this year, but I have been working on it so that I work on the months that the holiday appears in, and I get some of the ones that are non-month specific done as well. So this month I did this one. The background is peach, not white. So I did that one for Christmas, and this one also for Christmas. So this will be turning up throughout the year as I work in this, because this, even though it's not in my top 10 books to finish, I had decided at Halloween that I was going to finish this book within a year of holidays. I got out last year's Mystery Colors Christmas, but only managed to do one in it. Now, am I using my crap markers in this? Yes. Look at that. So yeah, I am using my crap markers in this. And this is Swatch Deva's Christmas. And I did a couple out of here. So I did this one. And this one. Now you see I used my crap markers in here, but so this one would have bled through onto this one, and it was already done, so you can't see it. These are not the ones I did. This is Pinkle's The Pink Frog and Friends by Sherry Baldi. These are the ones that are either Christmas or Halloween pictures. I'm doing that as I go through books now. When I go through books which are not a holiday book, if a Christmas or Halloween picture is in it, I put a tab in it so that I can just find those books easily next year, or this year, I should say. So this is the one I did My problem is that I did all the fur and beard and stuff in acrylic paint, but I should have gone around that at the end with a black line, a black pen, so that you could see it against the white background. Or alternatively, I should have colored in the background, but I didn't want to waste a whole marker coloring that in. So yeah, we'll remember that next time, though I do white acrylic paint on a white background. Okay, so this book made me fall in love with the sunlight stained glass books. So I think I bought the other ones, or they're in my cart. I can't remember. So this one, why is it such a terrible mess? Oh, yeah. This page, I had a really bad night or evening where I just kept falling asleep like crazy, and I didn't want to go to bed because it was too early, and I didn't want to end up waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I did this book, and somewhere else in this pile there's more that I basically just scribbled as I was coloring them. I don't even know if you can make out what this is, but I even gave up on coloring it in because it was no fun since it was such a mess, so I'm calling it done. And then, I believe these will probably all be this way. Sunlight does that now. So here's this one. This one's got a little bit of scribbling on it. And then these two are really nice. These are what made me fall in love. So I did this one. And I did this one. Actually, I think it was the mouse book that made me fall in love with these. I'm not sure. Okay, so this was a spin the wheel book. Yes, I am still spinning the wheel to color in books that I have not colored in before, to color my hoard. And I did this picture. I haven't been telling you what the books are. At some point I stopped. This is Just Add Color, Circus by Sarah Walsh. I love this series of books. And Sarah Walsh's entries especially. So yeah, I love that. It's weird and neat at the same time. Then this is The Beauty of Horror, Ghosts of Christmas by Ellen Robert. So I colored a picture in this one, considering it a Christmas book. Where is it? Oh, it's close to the beginning. So I did this picture, and I used pencil and gel pen for the border. Let's see if I can, yeah, you can see the eye glitter at least. I think you could see the glitter on the edges. And then we have Christmas and Travel Mosaics by Belba Family. I'm working in order in this book. So I did this one. It turned out really nice. I wish Belba Family would do more books like this, just traditional color by number books. So they did some when they first started. And then I did a book out of the cute Chibi Christmas coloring book by Christopher Hart. I work in this every Christmas. And this is the page I've done. I'll be bringing this one back at Christmas in July. So that's just alcohol marker. And there's nothing else on it at all. And then we have Christmas Mandalas by Camellia Angelkova. This is a square book, and I wish she would make all her books square, because a full-sized book just wastes paper on the top and the bottom of the mandala, because she can only make the mandalas the width of a piece of the width of the book, which this is. So then chop off the top and the bottom and make it into a square. So I love it when square books are done. Like I like Jason Hamilton's books, and that's one of the reasons why. So I did this one, just going in order in this book. And I like the mandalas in this way more than I like the mandalas in her winter, spring, summer, and autumn books. Because these have a little picture on the inside and then they continue mandala around the outside. Well, her new ones they're basically a picture with one row of pattern around the end of them. Now this is probably my coup de grace of this month. I did a color along with Penny at Pebbles with a Z, adult coloring, I believe she's called. And I did, let me take out my water page. I did this guy, all in gel pen, completely. I have to admit there were points when I was really sick of coloring those scales. I never got tired of the flowers, of the leaves. I like coloring leaves and I like coloring flowers. But yeah, around here I got tired of the scales, and then as we went along they got smaller and smaller and smaller until they were hardly even there. So yeah, got sick of that. But the rest of it I thoroughly enjoyed coloring, and I'm going to do, probably not this year but maybe next year, I will color the other one, because there's another one on this side exactly the same, except I'm going to color him in blues and purple. I think it will be a nice contrast. Then, of course, we have to color the garden gate, which goes over onto these sides. So quite a big effort at the end of Enchanted Forest by Joanna Basford. Then we have Camellia Angelkova's Snowflakes to color. And I'm working in order in this book. So I did this one, and these are random. My mandalas are always random. So this was, I try to put my palettes down at the bottom, but I forgot. I think this was 4 alcohol markers and 1 gel pen. And this one, this turned out amazing. This was 3 gel pens and, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, this was 4 alcohol markers, actually permanent markers, 4 permanent markers and 1 gel pen. And 2 of the permanent markers I got were the same color, but different brands. So it looks like I just used 1 color of yellow throughout here. But if you look at it in person, you can just hardly, because I know I can see a bit of a difference between the yellows. I think one was a Shuttle Art and one was a Bic. So yeah, can you believe that was random? Even the gel pen was picked randomly and it was a yellow. So yeah, you can have a lot of fun when you do random. Yeah, there's the occasional one that turns out extremely awful, but that's very rare. I mean, they may not be the type of thing you would pick on your own, but you give them half a chance and they look alright. So then we did Winter Dreamlings, Edwina Mcnamee. Now this book is more of a Christmas book than a winter one. Her other book, Winter Windlings, is more of a winter book than a Christmas book. So most of the pages in here are Christmas related. And this is the one I chose to do. So it is done in alcohol marker. The background is acrylic paint pen. We have white gel pen in there and stickles on the tree. Let's see if I can make that sparkle. You know what? I don't have this set the right way. I used to have it set so that my tripod fell down. since last filming. So there we go. Okay, tilt it this way and you can see the glitter. Maybe if I just put it like that. There, I think that's showing up more of the glitter. Yes. Okay, good. We got it. And then, just for fun, I worked in Erie's Travel Around the World festivals. I need to work in Erie's books more often. So I found a Christmas picture in here, and that's the one I did. It didn't turn out too great. The colors are too alike. I used Tombow markers, and the background is in Crayola crayon, which I used mineral spirits on. And what? There's a pencil that was used on there. No, I don't know. I'm thinking it may have been the Tombow recycled, but not sure. You see, the Tombow does not go through to the back in these books, or in any books that I've found so far. And then I did Chibi Girls by Alice Brockmeyer. I did this little Christmas girl here, and that's a tag letting me know that there's a witch on that page for Halloween. Speaking of Halloween, the challenge in my Facebook group for December sorry, I'm needing to drink a lot. So we're more than halfway through this pack of books now. Stack, I mean. So the challenge was to finish a whip. I didn't want to give anybody something extra to think about this month, since we're all busy doing this and that. But I thought people might be able to squeeze in finishing a whip. And I always participate, and I chose that because I had one whip. I do not do whips. My whip is always what I'm working on. But I did leave a whip at Christmas time, at Halloween time, and that was this one, which I finished, and I don't like. I did the background here, this gray, and these trees with watercolors, and I just didn't like the way it looked. I wished I'd picked different colors, so I left it as a whip. And I came back to it, and I did her skin. I forgot that I based this page with liquid glazing fluid, so it did limit what I could use on it. I used alcohol marker on her skin, but I forgot it doesn't work on top of the liquid glazing. Alcohol marker works like watercolor does, but really, really badly. So her face was a disaster, and so I went over it in pencil, and now it's just a darker disaster. Fortunately, her skin, on the rest of her body, I just left the way it was. Then I used pencil, probably Prismas, for her hair and her dress. And then I used acrylic paint, white for the faces and pink for the sides. And I used gel pen, different ones for her lips and their lips. So yes, finally done. I've done 2 pictures out of this, my only Jasmine Beckett Griffith, and I do not like working in it. I don't know why. It might be the paper, it might be the pictures, which I love, but so far haven't enjoyed coloring. So we have Joanna Basford's Christmas, and I work in her every Christmas season as well. So far I've gone, that's not the one. So far I've gone in order. It hasn't been planned, but it's just been picked that way. I end up flipping through the whole book looking for a picture and not being able to pick. And then I go back to the beginning and I start there and I go, oh well, might as well do this one. So I did this in, I think, well, it's, I was going to say Black Widows, but I am more sure, I think it's Prismacolors. They're my go-to. So that was fun. I enjoyed doing that one. And then this is actually my favorite Christmas book. This is Christmas to Color by Mary Tanana. And I did this, which is actually my first picture in the book. So I did this one, and I used, I think this is Black Widows. Their greens are very distinctive, so yeah, pretty sure. And I really like this color palette that I came up with. It's not too often that I do a subdued color palette, but I think this really works, and I think it looks better in person than it does on screen. But yeah, so enjoyed that and pleased with it. Then I did a Entangled Christmas by Angela Porter. And I actually have a hard time working in this book because it's so easy compared to her other books. So I used a color palette on this page, which I picked from, I think her name is Sarah Ray Clark, or Sarah Ray something. I bought her color catalogs, the whole spiel, and I picked this color palette out of the Christmas section, and I got compliments on it. The color scheme specifically. So yeah, turned out nice. There's that one. Then this was a spin the wheel book. I'm finally working in my first page out of Chibi Girls Volume 3 by April Amber. And I did this clown. And this was, oh no, it was, I didn't spin the wheel on this. My sister picked this book for us to do a buddy color in. And she picked the picture. So this was done in alcohol marker, silver gel pen, and silver and gold metallic marker. And the next one, this is Flying Colors Volume 21 by Penny Press. And this book I'm doing in a buddy color with Lisa from Coloring My Way, or Lisa Loves on Instagram. And every month we're doing two. This book is full of mandalas. Every month we're doing 2 pages, and we're using random colors for each. So I picked horrendous colors for this one. These colors might have worked for a Halloween picture, but... And then on top of that, I fell asleep and scribbled all over it. So I used a green acrylic paint marker to fill in the background, because I never color the backgrounds in when I'm doing mandalas. So I had to cover up all the scribbling that was all over here. You can see it coming through here and going off the page, but all this was covered too. So at least I covered it up, and you know, it's a page. I didn't put it on Instagram. Definitely. Oh, and here's my color palette. I'm trying to remember to do that. And of course I only did it once. Then this was the second one. I think these colors turned out good. It looks especially nice on the camera as opposed to in person. Picked 7 colors for this one, with the 7th color being a gel pen. No, with 6 and 7 being gel pen. So yeah, so next month we'll do the next 2 pictures and pick our random colors again. Alright, got some more PDFs here. This month I bought Hannah Lynn's Christmas Whimsy book. I already had the paper version of it, but she revised the Halloween and Christmas editions. The Christmas edition, she went through and gave you a second page, which was the more simplified picture like she does now. Well, she went back and revised Christmas, and I'm hoping, I don't know for sure, maybe you do, I'm hoping that she's going to go back and revise her other books so that they include a second picture. So this is the one I did. This is the simplified version. So this was a Christmas picture. And here, I knew I'd done 2. This was my other Christmas picture from the Naughty or Nice PDF. I just lost my feeling for it, so the colors are pretty garish. I didn't want to do green and red and yellow, so I put some pink in there, and it wasn't a very good choice. It's all alcohol marker, even the background. I went over these with metallic marker, and lips are Sparkle Pop. Okay, so to my Deborah Mueller Christmas books. I did one out of Merry Mermaid Christmas. This one. I'm about it. I just wish that the skin in the back, I hadn't done the skin in the background so close in color. Now you can see, there, over here you can see, I used stickles on the tail down here and up there, and let's just get the right, yeah, there we go, glossy accents on the eyes, because I love my glossy accents. I even did it on the seal's eyes as well. I love that glossy accents. I don't know how I lived without it. And the other one is Gnome for the holidays. And I did this one, which I really like. I like how this one turned out. So this was done in alcohol marker. And let's see if we can, I need to hold this up. Yeah, alcohol marker, the star in the sky and the wand are, and the snowflakes in the sky are silver metallic marker. Used gold metallic marker. Stickles for the fairy dust that he's sprinkling. And acrylic paint for his beard and the bushy tails. So yes, I always get out my white acrylic paint for Christmas coloring. I should remember to use it the rest of the year. And then I have this old magazine from 2016. This is their winter issue and is full of Christmas pictures. So I did a Christmas picture out of here. Now this was put out by Design Originals. So there's a lot of pictures in these magazines by Teresa McCardle, is it? And Veronica Van something. How helpful is that? But anyways, this is out of print and you can't get it. I would advise, if you want them, I would advise you to look on eBay. That would be the only place you would find these. So I did this page, which was from Santa's Furry Helpers by Kiyomi Harai. And it's done all in alcohol marker except for glossy accents on the eyes, which I can't get them to shine on camera. No matter what I do, it's because of this. So yeah, that was fun. This was my spin the wheel book. And this is the picture I did. It is the first full picture that I colored with the Castle Arts, and I had to do a learning curve with them because this is why the tree is so different from the house, because with the tree I did a learning curve with those. I just went ahead and started coloring with them the same way that I color with with my Prismas and my Artisas. I colored the same way, so I colored the same way with these, but no, it didn't work. Look how light the colors are here, and there's a lot of white space showing through as well. So as I worked, I started trying to figure out what I needed to do, and then I finally came to this piece right here, and I layered. So I did the blending, but with each color I layered it until it got to be the shade I wanted it, and then I brought it up and went lighter for the blend. So yeah, that's what I had to do. These are layer and blend pencils if you want to get the dark color. Didn't push hard on this at all, and I had no problem getting the colors so bright. I know I've seen a lot of people using Castle Arts, and they're probably beginners to pencils or coloring, and they're coming out with light colors like this. But if you layer, you'll come out with very bright colors and a lot of pigment. This way they're really nice. So I hope that helps somebody. I did the clouds by doing one layer of a very light blue, and I went around it with a darker blue. The butterflies and the stars on the wall of the house are done with Sparkle Pops and gel pens. Oops. So I actually don't have a spin the wheel book out. Maybe I'll spin the wheel when I'm done. So everybody, I think, knows that I'll be working on Ivy and the Inky Butterfly for the year. I'm not going to go into that, but join my Facebook group for more info, because I feel like I've been saying it all the time, every time I'm on camera right now, so take a break for this one. So anyways, we were allowed to have 5 pictures colored before we started in January now, and I had 1 done, so I went ahead and did the other 4. And I used a different medium for each one, just to show my my group that they could be done in things other than pencil, or as well as pencil. So this is Crayola Super Tips, and they don't go through on the back at all. This one is with pencil. I do not know which pencils I used for this. They might have been Black Widows. And I used a fine liner for the green. And nothing went through except I've got 2 little spots of ghosting from the gel pens with the dots. There's 2 big dots. You have to be careful with fine liners that if you go over the same space more than once, you are going to get ghosting and eventually, or quite quickly, bleeding through. And then, I'm just trying to find the next page here. Oh, there's 2 pages on the same page. Yes, I used gel pens, both glitter and not. And I colored both pages at the same time. So I started with this one, and as I was I did all the same flower, the same color, which I think lots of us do that. So I noticed the same flowers were over here, or some of them. So I colored in a flower here, and then I went over and colored in the flower over there. And I did that with all the flowers and the leaves. And then I was left with the butterfly on this page hadn't been colored, and there was quite a few, there were a few flowers and leaves that hadn't been colored on this page. So I finished off my butterfly, and then I finished off this page. And Bob's your uncle, we got 2 pages done in gel pen, which of course never bleeds through. It's not a, it is a surface medium. It works on the surface. It doesn't go into your paper. I should put something in between here though, so that I don't get, well, let's just put a blotter page in there for now, because I am getting transfer. So anyways, I want to say that my butterfly here, I'm going to do the butterfly the exact same color now throughout the book, and that is going to be cerulean blue and black. So that's going to be inky throughout the book. If there's more than one butterfly, one will be colored to be inky. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to color Polly the same throughout, because I haven't decided if it's going to be the same day that everything happens or if it's going to happen over several days. Then she can change her clothes. Alrighty, so I got into the Christmas Fantasy Black Background, color by number book by Color Questopia, and I am working in this one backwards from the back front. So I did this one, I did this one, and as I was coloring this, I was thinking, how on earth is this a Christmas picture? I saw the bells. I'm going, okay, so draw a horse and add some bells. And then I noticed the holly, and I went, oh, yeah, that's holly. So I noticed the holly, and then I thought, well, yeah, it's Christmas in places where it isn't winter, too. I forgot to use a blotter page, and so, yeah. Messed up my snow. So it went through to this page in a couple of spaces too, a little bit on his face and a little bit here. Otherwise, I managed to cover it up. And this page doesn't have anything wrong with it. That was the last one. I really like this too. Okay, only about 5 more books to go, and then we'll pick my Spin the Wheel book, if you're still with me. I told you this, I had the most books that I ever had before. So I did not do all of these. These are letting me know where the Christmas, Halloween, and Easter pictures are. This is the one I did, which is labeled Christmas. So this is a Chibi Santa's Elf. So this does have a Christmas nativity in it, which I had hoped to do, but I didn't get to do it, and it is so cute. If you're a Christian and you love chibis, get this book, because you have Chibi, Mary and Joseph pictures. How cool is that? Alright, then I worked in Coloring Heaven's Cutesy Christmas Special. It is not very often that I work in Coloring Heaven in the month that they came. So I did the first 2 Mariola Budek pictures. I had wanted to get some of her books, but I found out that she mostly does portraits, which I don't like. And that Yeah. This is extra, I guess, for her doing these cute Christmas pictures. So I forgot to put a blotter page in for this. I started this, and then I went, oh no, blotter page. And so I have some green here showing through. Ah, will I ever remember? Now I'm also working in another Flying Colors. My sister gave me this one, and this is volume 13, so it's from a couple years ago. And I'm doing 2 pages a month in this. Well, it's not written in stone, but I try to. So this was my random color pattern, and I would never ever have picked these pictures, but I think they look really cool. And my bird page, which I usually do like this. So, fun. 2 more. I worked in George Tufexis's Christmas color by number, and I only did 1. And I used pencil. I don't like how it came out. It's too light, and there's no way I'm going to be doing layering on a color by number. That defeats the whole point. So yeah, you won't be seeing me use pencil on a George Tufexis picture again. It looks okay, but it's faint. Oh my goodness, my pile is about to fall over. Last book. This is the only Christmas book I got from Coloring Book Cafe. It's a little different than the average picture. It takes Christmas stories throughout the ages and draws a picture of them. So I did the very first picture in the book, which is the gift of the Magi. And I did this. I ended up with a great big hole in her top of her dress, and it had been burnished by the time I needed to fix it. So yeah, that kind of wrecks it. I don't mind the highlight I did here on her back, but yeah. So I used, what did I use on this? Did I not use some new pencils? I think my Castle Arts are my newest pencils, so I didn't use them. This is not Black Widow or Prisma. Arteza? I think I remember having those out. This might be Arteza's. Not sure. But I used some water-based markers on the Christmas tree ornaments. Yeah, you can see them. So that is all my pages for December. So let's have a look what my Spin the Wheel book is going to be for this month. So these are all the books that are on one shelf that I have not colored in. So there's quite a few, and I'm going to spin the wheel. So I'm going to work in Meditative Designs. Now that is a book by Sterling Publishers. It's double-sided, and it has a lot of mandalas in it, but it does have actual patterns as well. So, or designs, as they call them. So that won't be bad. A lot of these are mandala books that are on this shelf. Okay, so there you go. That's you're going to see that book next month. I may do some more Spin the Wheels, but I will definitely be doing that one for sure in January. So thank you so much for joining me and spending this just over an hour looking at my finished pages. It's insane, I know, but I colored like a mad woman. Just colored all month long. From sun up to sundown. No, almost, but not quite. So anyways, I will see you next month for my next finished pages, if that's what you join me for. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday. And this Monday, there is no vlog. Been busy with the season and everything. So on Monday, you're going to get, this, I should not even bother, because you've already had Monday and today is Tuesday for you, so erase what I just said. I will see you. I may see you in some flip-throughs, but I will definitely see you on Monday with a vlog. So until next time, bye!